Okay, today's tutorial is going to be how to make a 360 panel from images that I shot with the Mavic Pro. Um, the program you need is the Microsoft Image Composite Editor, which I have open right now, and you can download free from the Microsoft website. Just Google Microsoft ICE, ICE, and it'll pop up for you to download. I already have my media card inserted, so we are going to open up new panorama from images. So we'll click on that, and then these are the images that I shot. So I know that I shot 34 images in 4 rows. So I am going to scroll down here till I get to number 34 right there. I'll select all of those and hit open. I shot both the RAW and JPEG because in case I wanted to do anything with the RAW images, I can do it separately, but the Microsoft ICE will only detect JPEG images. So right there you have the 34 images. You make sure that it is on simple panorama, and you click stitch. The program will start aligning and compositing the images. This takes a couple of minutes. Okay, there you have the 34 images stitched together. So what we do now is make sure that it's selected as spherical because we want it to be round. And then we hit crop. Okay, right now it cropped the image, but it left those black lines up there. So there's a feature in the Microsoft Image Composite Editor that is really neat. It's called autocomplete, and what it does is it'll blend the sky in um, with those black and turn it into sky. Okay, there you go. It does a pretty good job in fact. Okay, now we want to export this because it looks pretty good. And we want to make sure that the quality is set to 100%, and it is in superb. Okay, everything else should remain the same, the scale and the dimension. Okay, so once we do that, we export it to this, and I usually save the exported images to the disk that I had in the Mavic Pro, and the reason being is because I normally use a Mac, but the image composite editor is only for Windows. I mean, the PC. So that's what that is. So we'll save it as Waikolu Panel. Waikolu is the location of the area that I shot, and then we'll click save. Okay, that will save it as a JPEG file. Okay, although it is the panorama is still a flat image, so there's still a lot that needs to be done to it. Okay, so we'll minimize this in case we got to come back to it. Then we go to Photoshop. We'll open up Photoshop. And if you don't have Photoshop, the GIMP program will work. GIMP is a free program, but it basically does everything you need. Um, Almost everything Photoshop does. So we will open that file. Okay, so I know that it's on that disk, and you see there's JPEG and DNG images on there, but the Microsoft Ice only located the JPEG. Yeah. So I'm gonna scroll all the way down to the bottom because that's where the image is at. So we'll open up that image, and the first thing I like to do is do just basic editing to the image before I actually start changing the format on it. Yeah. So the basic adjustments I'm going to do is auto levels, auto contrast, auto color, and depending on the exposure, I might mess with the exposure just a little. So there's the image. It was a cloudy, overcast day. So we'll do the auto levels first. And we'll do the auto contrast next. See, and then we'll do the auto color next. And then we'll maybe mess with the exposure just a little. I'm going to bring it down just a tad. Okay. So exposure, I'm going to bring it down like how about -0.5? Okay. Okay. And then now is the real part. What we got to do is we got to change the format. So we'll go down to canvas size. And in order to make it work, you need to go a 2-to-1 ratio. In other words, it has to be twice as wide as it is high. So as you can see, it's not quite like that. So we'll change the height to 10496. 10496. Okay, and then you hit the down arrow, and then it'll become obvious later because we want the picture at the bottom. And the canvas extension color, we'll leave it white because that's what's going to be the color of the sky above the sky. Okay, so we hit OK. Okay, so it brought the image down to the bottom, yeah. And the canvas color is white up there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we got to change the image size. Yeah, we already changed the canvas size. So image size also got to be um, half as high as it is wide. So we'll go 10,000 and it automatically height be 5,000. We'll hit OK. Okay. So now we'll save that. We'll save it as white colo panel 1 so that we know that that's the one that was edited. We'll save and run it in its maximum. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll minimize this one. Yeah. Okay. So and then we can close that. We'll find that picture, which is in that folder at the bottom. Okay, Waikolo Pano 1, and we go into the properties, right click, and in properties, and in the properties we go to the details, and in the details we go to camera maker. Now the object here is to fool the program into thinking that the image that we just created that sits together was taken by a 360 camera. Yeah. So you tell it what you want, and it'll think that that's what it is. So we know that Ricoh, R-I-C-O-H, makes a camera model that's the Ricoh Theta S. Okay, the Ricoh Theta S is a little camera that you can connect to the bottom of a drone. It's like $350 camera, something like that. And then you can shoot one 360-degree panorama picture with one image. Yeah. So you're telling the program that this picture that you're writing the details for comes from that camera. Yeah. So you hit apply, and then you hit OK. So now it thinks that that picture is taken from a panorama. So what you do now, you can close that. You open up your Facebook and you go to your home page, which it's on right now, and you load a photo. Okay, so you go in there and uh, you open up that image, which is going bottom. Waikolo Panel 1, and you hit open. See, and it says say something about this 360 photo. So that means you did it right. If it doesn't say something about this 360 photo, that means you did something wrong and you just got to go backtrack and find out what you missed. Yeah, could be anything. One little thing and then it won't work. So anyway, I'm going to put Waikolu Valley panel. Okay, so it's going to take a little while to load because it's a huge file. Yeah? It's 34 images. So what we did was after we stitched the images all together, we told it we wanted it into a sphere, so it created a round sphere, and by designating it 360 by 180, we told it it's a half a sphere, and then we hit that arrow down which says that we want the bottom half of that sphere. Yeah. So you hit, make sure it's posted only me because you want to make sure it comes out okay before you post it to the public. So post it under only me, and then you open up your iPad because the iPad is the one you can see that thing. And then there it is. It pops up on the iPad, and I'm looking at it now, and so far it looks really good. So it looks fairly good. I mean, you can put it in Lightroom and doctor it up, which is probably what I'm going to do before I actually put it on the internet because it needs a little bit of touching up. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's how it's done. So I'll hit delete so that it doesn't get posted, and delete post so nobody's gonna see that. Yeah, and there we go. Aloha.